I remember Sonic as many different things. A unique game character that can run faster than the speed of light, as an anime protagonist, as a meme, and last but not least, as something that ruined my childhood because of some really disturbing animations.
Oh, Sonic, my love, are you okay?
Anyway, because of the new Sonic movie, a lot of people were talking about Sonic again, and after watching the movie, I was thinking, Sonic used to be a pretty big part of my life. I've always been a Sonic fan, so you know what I want to do? Look back at all the Sonic games I've played, how Sonic affected my life, how I was traumatized as a kid. By the way, sorry if it sometimes seems like I'm having Vietnam flashbacks. That's because I am. I saw a lot of weird shit when looking for that Sonic having weird dreams animation. But let's begin! Before talking about all the Sonic games I've played, there are some weird ones. I want to share my first experience with Sonic ever, which is the anime Sonic X. Back when kids didn't have iPhones and iPads and I didn't even have access to a computer, I only had one Sonic X CD with only the first 3 episodes. I watched this probably over 100 times. The music, the world building, those 3 episodes are insanely good. I've always wanted to see the rest, but I was like 7 and my brain wasn't capable of figuring out there was such a thing as more CDs. But after all these years and going through many different phases, I forgot about Sonic X. But recently I remembered it out of nowhere and I realized, wait, it's 2020. I have a computer now. I can watch it now. I can watch more than 3 episodes. It's on Netflix. Am I dreaming? So I started watching it, but after 10 episodes, I realized a lot of the episodes after the first 3 are pretty lame. And now I'm sad. There doesn't seem to be a filler list, so if I can't skip those boring episodes, I don't know if I'll ever watch the whole thing. Which is a bummer, because after seeing the first episodes 100 times, I was so excited. Maybe my expectations were too big, but if you've seen Sonic X, let me know if it gets better after episode 10. Maybe I'll watch it again. Anyway, there are a lot of Sonic games I want to talk about today. So to decide what Sonic game I will be talking about first, I will be spinning the wheel. Sonic Riders! Sonic Riders is the first Sonic game I ever played. It was probably my favorite game ever at that time, but I was also 7. Sonic and a hoverboard, which would seem like a unnecessary combination, was really fun back then. But I think my favorite part of the game wasn't even the gameplay itself. It's the world, the story, and the first cutscene. Specifically the first. Back then, that was the coolest thing I had ever seen. The city, the way they introduced the villains. I think I just really like the, I have to use this word, vibe. You know, I always say being a kid is like being high on shrooms all the time. Or being high on shrooms is like being a kid. One of those, your imagination has no limits. So experiencing this world and story in this game, playing through it as a kid, was insane. So a while back I found it again and I decided to play it again. Because if I remember it correctly, this game was so good. Like so good. I was really excited to play it again, so I booted up my old PS2 and played it, and I realized something very quickly. It's really hard. The game does not really explain the controls very well. It starts in a race out of nowhere and everyone was beating me. And what the fuck do I do? Oh well, I just forgot the controls. After a couple races, I'll probably know what to do. No. This game is confusing. I don't know how I enjoyed this so much when I was 7. But the worst part of all this wasn't just the hard to understand controls. It's the final map. After doing races in Dr. Eggman's tournament, some weird shit happens and the Chaos Emeralds do shit and a floating island comes out of the ground and you have to race there. But that map was one of the hardest things ever created. It's impossible. This map took me 20 tries. At least. I almost got it. Oh, last corner. No! Fuck up, no! The way I finally won on this map was when all the other opponents also fell off. It was the only way I could win. Maybe you're watching this and you're like, dude, you just suck. And maybe you're right. Or not, this shit is hard. However, despite it being really hard, I still completed the first main storyline in a couple hours. It isn't really that long. And the puzzle pieces started coming together. Maybe as a kid I also thought it was hard, but I liked it anyway because I was a kid. And I played the same maps for hours and hours, but that's just how it kept me entertained for so long because I was a kid. But that's just a theory. But after the first storyline, there's another from the enemy perspective, so the game does become a bit longer. Oh shit, I also just realized. Back then, games came with instruction manuals on paper. I probably should have read this first. Man, reading sucks. Did I mention this game is hard? Despite it being really hard, I still love this game because Sonic is cool and hoverboards are cool. And that's my review of Sonic Riders. Thanks guys. I know I'm good at this, I know. And I can't wait till I can hover around in a hoverboard in real life. I only recently heard there was a sequel to this game that fixed some of the issues from the original, and I never got a chance to play that one. I might try it someday if I have time, but probably not. There are too many games I want to play. And also, after playing this game again to record gameplay for this video, I think I'm done with Sonic and hoverboards. I mean, nostalgia for sure, great vibe, but actual gameplay? Anyway, next game! Sonic Gems Collection. What? I got this when I was 8 or something. This actually contains 3 Sonic games. Whoa. Sonic CD, Sonic the Fighters, and the weirdest one of all Sonic games I've played, Sonic R. But I'll get to that. These 3 games have nothing in common. Well, except for Sonic. Sonic CD is just an original 8-bit Sonic game. Sonic the Fighters is a 1v1 level-based fighting game. And Sonic R is, again, I'll get to that. I'll start with Sonic the Fighters. In Sonic the Fighters, you fight 1v1. In each stage, you collect the Chaos Emerald. And after 8 stages, you can challenge Metal Sonic and Dr. Eggman. It's a short game from 1996. 1996. But it's really frustrating and difficult. I'm starting to see a pattern here. Maybe you just suck at games. Shut the fuck up. But it's also really addicting. I tried completing it for this video to show you the end, but I gave up when fighting Metal Sonic. I gave up. Losing from Metal Sonic 20 times in a row in a game from 1996. Yeah, it's just not worth it. Yeah. Funny, actually, in 2015, I made a video on my old channel playing this game, and I actually finished it there, but no one watched that video. Sonic R! There's a lot wrong with this game. Even when I was playing this when I was 8, with my infinite imagination, I was still confused. The back of the game says, Speed Demons and Blistering Circus make this one of the craziest races ever! You sure? You're sounding really confident there. Sonic R is a racing game, and the maps look like this. That's not what circus should look like. Where the fuck do you go? Imagine Formula 1 chasing the circus to this. You know, whatever direction you want to go to, doesn't matter, just drive. You know what, forget about tracks, just turn it into one big piece of track. Just drive in circles or something. You figure it out. You start the race, you go every direction you want to, it doesn't matter. You can go on adventures and collect stuff around the map and forget you're even racing. And then realize after 10 minutes, oh shit, I was racing, right? And still beat Eggman, because he's that slow. In this game, Sonic just runs and Amy has a car. Which makes sense, you know. But Tails and Knuckles also run. Why is Amy the only one with a car? And Eggman has an extremely slow robot. I see people saying they actually like this game. And I played it as a kid too, alright? But I don't see how you can like this. It feels unfinished. Playing this game is like tripping after taking a sketchy ass looking pill your friend gave you without asking what kind of pill it is. I should stop referencing drugs so much. But that's what playing this game feels like. I don't actually know because I haven't had that kind of experience. Don't do drugs, kids. The soundtrack is pretty lit though.
Can't you feel the sunshine?
What year is this from? 1997. This came after the fighting one. Well, maybe in 1997 this was fun, alright? I probably shouldn't be playing this in 2020. Why am I looking back at Sonic games again? Next game! Sonic Unleashed. Sonic is now also a werewolf. By the way, I don't have this game anymore, so this is not my gameplay. Shout out to this guy, link in the description. But I really like this game. Before saying anything else, the first cutscene. No, I don't always like cutscenes, but a cutscene that's this good, I would watch the whole movie. No, I would watch the whole series that looks like this. This shit is so good. But I like the actual game as well this time. This game is half a regular modern Sonic game running fast when Sonic is not a werewolf, and also a slow-paced fighting platform game when Sonic is a werewolf. And I really like both. However, I never finished this game because I couldn't get past a specific level. I also remember it being pretty early in the game as well. Despite really enjoying it up to that point, I was just stuck at a specific nighttime werewolf level. If I remember it correctly, I was 9 and I couldn't speak English at all when I was 9. I also didn't have access to a computer back then. I also didn't have a phone when I was 9 because kids back then didn't have big ass iPads to watch Fortnite YouTubers on and whatever kids watch. So I was stuck and couldn't read the instructions, and well, that sucks. I don't have the game anymore, but this is what I remember happened. Memories from when I was 9 aren't really that trustworthy, but I'm pretty sure that's what happened. I really want to get this game again and try to finish it for real this time, but I just can't find the time, maybe someday. But in any case, great cutscene! Let's spin the wheel again. Sonic and Sega All-Stars Racing! Oh, Sonic has a car now. Why? By the way, this is also not my gameplay. Shout out to this guy, I'm sorry. I don't have this game anymore. If I try to make sense of the universe Sonic lives in with the Sonic games I've played, there's Sonic fighting Eggman a lot, and then he became a werewolf for a while after giving up on running for a bit and just using a hoverboard. And now he's just like fuck all that shit. I'll just use a fucking car. Because even Sonic gets started from running, alright? So many people were shitting on Sonic back when it came out because they were like, why does Sonic need a car? Let him drive for a couple games, okay? His life is hard, man. Have some respect. No, but really, it was kind of random. But every franchise at some point gets a karting game. Because why not? But most, let's say, unnecessary karting games kind of suck. But Sonic racing games, for me as a kid personally, I remember actually really enjoying this game. Enjoying this game, I think, as much as Mario Kart Wii, if not more. Are you serious right now? Yeah, I'm very serious right now. Even though Mario Kart Wii is one of my favorite games ever. Okay, I probably didn't like it more than Mario Kart. I was a really big Sonic fan and also a really big racing game fan. So the combination of those two was mind-blowing for me. Funny story, I was so hyped for this game back then. I wanted it the day it released and with the special Sonic steering wheel for Wii, even though I already had the Mario one. Why was I like that? I remember actually being in a game store. Yeah, back then you actually went to a physical game store. Times have changed so much. But anyway, the employee said, hey, if you already have the Mario wheel, you can buy the game without the new wheel and it would be a lot cheaper. And I answered, but I want the Sonic wheel. Something like that. But I got that and I really enjoyed that game. I also like the variety of game modes like elimination, where every minute or so the last person in the race gets eliminated. I like that concept. It's like racing till there's one driver left. I don't remember many other racing games having this game mode, even though it's really fun. This game mode should be a thing in more racing games. But after a couple years I sold that one. I thought, you know, I'm like 12 now. I'm going to a new school. I'm getting older. I need to stop playing those childish games and play fucking Battlefield or something like the cool kids do. I went through some lame phases, man. Oh, what are you saying? They're making a Sonic Racing sequel. And Sonic has a car that can turn into a boat and a plane. Take my fucking money. Limited edition. Limited edition. Limited edition. Sonic All-Stars Racing Transformed. I enjoyed this game, just like the first one, I really liked it. Something that's cool about this one is the fact that you can play split screen the entire game. Just play through the whole campaign with a friend. That's sick. That would have been a lot of fun if I had friends. Something I specifically remember from the Sonic All-Stars Racing games is the voice in the background announcing every little thing that happens every time.
Double flip. I Swarm owning the race. Eggman's going All-Star.
You don't need to emphasize everything that happens like that. He's walking. He's confused. He's pointing a gun at me. Wait, don't. Just a little too much sometimes. Last year Sonic Team Racing came out and it looks really pretty. And even though I would love to play a Sonic Racing game in HD, I'd probably get bored pretty quickly. It sucks I can't enjoy games like that anymore. Sometimes I wish I could just be a kid again for a day and just enjoy games with that infinite imagination and no sense of time again. Wait a minute, I can just take shrooms. I don't know really. As a kid I could just play levels over and over. But right now if there's no story I care about or a lot of things to work towards, you know, new characters and maps or something, it just starts to feel pointless really quickly. But I have that problem with more arcade racing games. Playing single player just gets boring really quickly. And back in the day when I was gaming with friends who would always prefer Mario Kart because I guess that was more accessible for most people. I had plenty of friends that play Mario Kart but not a single one that played Sonic All-Stars Racing. Despite the existence of a lot of Sonic fans who prefer Sonic All-Stars Racing, it just can't beat Mario Kart. I like how this turned to do a Sonic Racing versus Mario Kart video out of nowhere. But anyhow, I like Sonic All-Stars Racing Transformed. Next game! What do you mean there are no games left? I said next game! So that's all the Sonic games I remember playing. Tell me what Sonic games you played as a kid. I'm kind of interested if there's anyone who watched this video this far. I think this is my longest video yet. There are a lot of Sonic games I always wanted to play as a kid but never did. Like Sonic Heroes, Colors, Generations that I probably would have loved as a kid but I'm not really interested in playing right now. I did get Generations for $5 in Steam sale just now. It's kind of fun. But that's it guys. This was such a nerdy video. Talking about old games like that. My longest video yet and for the most part it wasn't about anime. I thought you were an anime YouTuber. When I started this channel I said I'm going to be talking about whatever I feel like talking about. And that's still mostly anime. But I really enjoyed making that video about that Sword Art Online game. So I know I want to talk about games sometimes. Mostly probably anime games. But I also really like talking about childhood games like nostalgia shit. It also gives me a reason to play them again, to record some gameplay. It's great, you know. And if you don't like it at some point, I will have talked about all the childhood games I wanted to talk about. So you know that'll end at some point. There are not many new games I want to get soon except for Animal Crossing. So except for the couple of nostalgia videos I still want to make. Actually right now it's just one more video like this I want to make. It'll be an interesting one. I'm more excited for that one than for this video even. But except for that one, it'll be anime related videos only, I'm pretty sure. But that's Red Deborah talking about old games games for way too long alone in this room. Ends for today. Every video at the end I say I'm working on big stuff, and I'm just gonna say it again, I'm working on big stuff. Subscribe, bell, you don't want to miss this. I'm sorry it's taking so long, I'm also working on an assignment and shit. Oh right, I haven't even mentioned, I'm too late, I missed a week, I failed, I'm a failure. But like I said, assignment out of nowhere, I'm really busy with that. This is also my longest video yet, so it's more work. So I didn't make it this week. When the assignment is done, I'll try to keep it up more. All the ideas I have right now are actually a lot of work, but it'll probably be worth it. I may not be able to upload every 7 days, but it'll be worth it. Just wait and see. Is anyone still watching this video right now? We're almost at 600 subscribers, guys. I want to do something special for 666 subscribers. I don't know what yet. Why am I still talking? Bye!